All right, so today we're diving deep into something pretty interesting.
Hmm.
We're going beyond just like, the physical techniques of Budo.
Yeah, getting into the heart of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're exploring this principle, this idea
Yeah.
that's at the core of, well, Budo is more than just martial arts, right?
Right. It's a whole way of life.
Yeah, it's like personal development, philosophy, even some spirituality all kind of mixed in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all woven together.
And get this, the idea we're looking at today, it might sound kind of counterintuitive, especially when we talk about, the discipline and focus of martial arts. We're talking about how sometimes thinking too much can actually hold you back.
It's funny, right? You'd think more thinking equals better performance, especially in something as technical as martial arts.
You would. But Budo, it kind of flips that on its head.
Mhm.
It recognizes that there's this point where, like, overanalyzing, it actually disconnects your mind and body.
Exactly. It gets stuck in your head.
Yeah, and that can really mess with your ability to, well, to react effectively.
Oh, absolutely.
So there's this quote that I absolutely love. It just cuts right to the chase. Don't think, feel.
I like that. Straight to the point. Powerful.
Right. And it's not just some, like, motivational poster kind of thing. This comes from Masaaki Hatsumi,
Oh, wow. Yeah, Hatsumi Sensei.
a true legend in the world of Budo, like
Yeah.
a grandmaster of multiple Japanese martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking wisdom that comes from a lifetime of experience.
No, seriously. He's the real deal.
Yeah.
So what's so powerful about that quote, don't think, feel, is how it just points to the limitations of overthinking, right? Especially when you're talking about like a martial arts context, a fight where even like a split second, a tiny bit of hesitation can be the difference between, well,
Winning and losing.
exactly, or worse. And if you're caught up there analyzing every single move your opponent's making, you're not reacting instinctively, you're not in the flow.
Which is everything, right? Like, you can't be up in your head when things are happening that fast.
You just can't.
It's like, when you're first learning to dance. You think about every single step, it's all super awkward and clunky.
Oh, tell me about it.
But then, as you practice, you internalize those moves, and you start to feel the music, your body kind of takes over. That's when the dance really flows.
Oh, that's a perfect analogy. And it actually reminds me of the Zen concept of mushin.
Mushin.
Yeah, sometimes it's translated as no mind, which can be a little misleading. It's not about emptying your mind completely.
Yeah, that sounds kind of impossible, honestly.
It is. Really, it's more about reaching this state where you're acting without conscious thought.
So your instincts are guiding your actions.
Exactly. The instincts that you've developed through training, through practice. It's like being totally present, just completely in the moment, free from all those distracting thoughts.
So all those hours of training, it's not just about memorizing techniques, right?
Yeah.
You're ingraining them so deeply that they become second nature, almost instinctive.
Exactly. You could be practicing a block, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you're busy overthinking your opponent's attack, analyzing it,
Your reaction's going to be slow.
way too slow.
Mhm.
Budo is all about cultivating that immediate, that intuitive response, the one that doesn't need to go through all the mental steps.
Trusting your training.
Trusting your training. That's the key.
So it's not just physical mastery then, is it? It's mental mastery too.
It's both. It has to be. You're training your mind to get out of the way.
Let the body do what it knows.
What it's been trained to do. And it's such a cool thing. Budo, it's not a theoretical thing. It's an experiential art.
A living art.
Yes. And the real understanding, it comes from doing, from feeling it, not from reading a book or thinking about it.
So it's that mind-body connection.
Deep connection, where your actions, they just flow naturally from all that dedicated practice, years of it sometimes.
So when we go back to that quote, don't think, feel, it's not about being mindless.
No, not at all.
It's about moving past that intellectualizing and into direct experience.
It is. It is. It's about trusting what you've learned, silencing that inner critic we all have.
Oh, yeah, that inner critic.
And just allowing yourself to react, naturally, spontaneously from that place of experience.
It's funny, I've been thinking about this a lot lately and how I tend to overthink things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it definitely leads to hesitation, not just in, martial arts, but just in life.
Sure. Makes sense.
It makes me wonder, like, how much smoother things could be if I just trusted my gut more often.
That's a great point. And it shows how this principle, it goes way beyond martial arts. It applies to everyone. It's about recognizing that sometimes our thoughts, they can be our own worst enemies.
They really can. So for everyone listening, think about a time when you were stuck in your head, you were overanalyzing something, and it just paralyzed you, made you hesitate. What if you had just gone with your gut feeling?
That's the question, isn't it? Because in so many areas of life, whether you're making a big decision, you're working on a creative project, even just everyday stuff, sometimes the best thing you can do is quiet those thoughts and tap into your intuition.
That well of experience we all have.
Exactly, exactly. What would it look like if you could cultivate that no-mind state more often? What could you achieve if you stopped overthinking so much?
I mean, it's pretty amazing that we can get all this from the deep dive into Budo, right? So to sum it up, Budo, it's not just about fighting.
It's so much more.
It's a path to self-discovery, to mastery. And a big part of that is learning to, well, don't think, feel, let go of all that overthinking, and trust your body, trust your training.
And remember that wisdom, it goes with you everywhere. It's not stuck in the dojo. It applies to every part of our lives. So as you go about your day, just remember to take a moment, feel what's going on, and ask yourself, where can I let go of thought? Where can I just be?
Some great food for thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.
Thank you.